As of now, we have entered the US tariff war successfully. What is it all about? And how is it impacting India? Stay tuned as we find everything out in detail. Let's first understand what is actually going on. Well, President Donald Trump has fundamentally transformed US trade policy since returning to office in January 2025, implementing the most aggressive tariff regime since the 1930s, from the time of the Great Depression. The average US tariff rate has surged from 2.5% in January 2025 to an estimated 17 to 18% by August 2025. The tariff escalation began with Trump's Liberation Day announcement on 2nd April, which imposed a baseline 10% universal tariff on all imports, followed by country-specific reciprocal tariffs ranging from 15 to 50%. This represented the most significant US protectionist trade action since the Smooth-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930. Moving on, now let's see how is it impacting India. On 30th July, Trump announced a devastating blow to India-US trade relations, a 25% tariff on all Indian imports effective from 7th August, plus another 25% additional penalty was announced on 6th August for India's continued purchase of Russian oil and military equipment, totaling the tariffs to 50%. Trump criticized India's trade practices, stating that India has amongst the highest tariffs in the world and maintains the most strenuous and obnoxious non-monetary trade barriers of any country. The tariff announcement came after months of stalled trade negotiations, as India refused to compromise on sensitive sectors like agriculture, dairy, and genetically modified foods due to religious and political sensitivities. Now, I'd like to take a moment to make you understand how India acted as a middleman for Russia's oil business. After Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, the US and European Union imposed sanctions on Russian oil. Then India came to the escape of its good old friend, Russia. India did not join the Western sanctions. Instead, India ramped up oil imports from Russia. So India became a refinery bridge between Russia and the Western markets. You see, Donald Trump wants to show that he is tough on countries undermining the US power. And India has its own way of having a very balanced yet powerful approach towards its foreign policy, taking care of the national interests hand in hand in the most sovereign way possible. This stance of India hurts the fragile ego of the US President Donald Trump, hence the backlash. Now, do you actually believe it to be India's failing foreign policy? Or that US President Donald Trump is being desperate to satisfy his ego?